Hello guys and girls, welcome to my channel. So the other day I was bored and to keep myself engaged and occupied, I opened up Reddit and like a normal person would do, I browse over to the r/cringe subreddit and I find this very cringe video which is on my screen right now. Uh, it's very cringe-worthy. Reading the title itself cost me 1,000 brain cells. Its title is Hood Logic: How to Get a House. Hood Logic, it seems. Um, what the fact that there are 9 Hood Logics already, that means that he's subjecting his subscribers to a lot of cancer. But no, if you well, the first time when I watched this video, I didn't know what househo was, so I was in quite a confusion. What is this househo? Like a normal person would do after watching the video, I Google searched househo, and it turns out to be Australian slang for public housing. So let's just see what this person has to tell us, or give us whatever hood logic it seems.
Hood logic, some more hood skills. Listen, I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I can't stop laughing at the whole logic, but yeah, let me continue with the ways.
Detail, something I referred to before. One of the best moves you can possibly do as a money smart person is getting yourself a househo. Do not listen to anyone that runs it down. I tell you the type of people that run househo down. They're the people that work 12 hours a day. They barely know their family. They pay $650 a week rent and drive around in a car that the bank owns. And guess what? They pay 52 grand for a $32,000 car because it's on finance. By the time they own it, they sell it for 12 grand on Facebook Market.
Oh, that's because you finance the car, so you're of course going to pay interest on the car. But what do you mean by 12k? By 12k, I mean there is depreciation in cars. Cars depreciate really fast, so you know, they depreciate in value as soon as you take out the store. I think, if I'm not wrong, if 50% of your value of your car just diminishes when you drive it off the store. So that's your answer there. There's something called depreciation. You can't see it, but I'm air quoting it.
Place. Listen to this. Don't listen to them cunts. What you're going to do is here. You're saving $400, $300 a week rent for the rest of your life. Do the mathematics on this. Smart moves, smart hood logic.
Okay, so what did you just say? Let me pull up my calculator. $400 of rent a week. $400, and then there are 52 weeks in a year. That's $20,000 for the rest of your life. So let's just assume that you're living for 30 more years. 30, why not? Yeah, 30. So saving 624,000. But this is not worth it. I'll tell you why. Let's continue watching the video.
First thing you want to do, go to a doctor. Tell the doctor you got anxiety issues, you can't go out in public, you hate being around people. Doctors.
Wow, you just described I hate being around people. I am so antisocial. I hate mingling with people. Anyways, let's just continue on.
He's going to give you a mental health plan and refer you to a psychologist. You're going to get 10 free visits to a psychologist. You want to put this in place first because it helps when you're under some type of, there's some type of mitigating circumstance, all right? You're going to go to this psychologist. You're going to tell the psychologist that you have bad anxiety, you can't be in public, you can't go around people. When you go out...
So basically, I go lie to the psychologist. Fine. Okay, let's continue on. I think I think it's morally, wrong to lie to a doctor or a psychologist, to defraud the government in his case. Let's continue on.
It's hard to breathe, you can't function, you can't think, and you sort of collapse to the floor, your hands and feet tingle, and you just want to run home and cry. You tell the psychologist that. They're going to medicate you, all right? You're going to accept the medication. You don't take the medication because you're lying, obviously, but you accept it. You don't get urine, so they will never know. You accept the medication. You tell them after 3 to 4 weeks of taking the medication that the medication's working, but not fully, but you feel better. That's what you say. Next thing you do is you ring up a crisis housing hotline. There's many of them. You ring up a hotline for crisis housing, all right? They're government funded organizations, all right? You want to go in this method, all right?
Yeah, again, public housing crisis housing or whatever, the government funded housing. So I call them up. Okay, fine.
because it makes it a crisis. They put you on some type of list, okay? Easiest way. Don't go into Housing Commission, do it this way. Ring them up. You say, I'm homeless, my wife, my girlfriend, my mum, my brother, whoever the fuck it is kicked me out. My stuff is in the back of a car, I'm sleeping on the streets. Can you find me somewhere to stay? They book you in a motel, okay? Emergency crisis housing. They book you in a motel. You go to this motel. You make sure you stay at that motel. I'll tell you one thing. The people at the desk there at these motels that they book you, they're trained, all right? They act like they don't know who you are, but they know which people are in their motels as part of this system of crisis housing. And they will record if you're there or not. So don't go there and not show up. You know what I mean? Don't go there and leave straight away and go kick back at your home. Play the part. You only got to stay there for 2, 3, 4 days. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a meeting. This all comes to a big thing. Listen to me. They're going to give you a meeting at Hauso. You go up to Hauso, you put your name down, you say you're staying in crisis housing. You make sure as soon as you put your name down, the next day you're ringing. So if you keep ringing, what they're going to do is immediately, they're not going to put you on the streets. They're going to move you from that motel. They don't like keeping you at the motel. And they're going to move you to a shelter. A woman.
Okay, so you keep calling them and then they'll move you over to a shelter. Okay, we get the point, sir. So you're trying to create a sense of emergency to this emergency housing. It's unironic. I mean, that's ironic. Uh,
Shelter or a man's shelter. This is the hard part, but it's worth it in the end. They're going to move you to a shelter. Go to that shelter, all right? You're going to stay in a man, you're going to have your own room, your own space, all right? It's a commitment, but it's worth it in the end. Hear me out. You're going to stay in your own space.
it's a commitment, all right.
Your own room. It's a shared bathroom. It's not great living. You're going to stay at one of these places for 3 to 7, 8 weeks, okay? 3 to 7, 8 weeks. You're going to get given a worker. They're going to help you get a housing commission house. What you're going to say to them is whenever they try to tell you to do something, go to this meeting, go to this place, you're going to say, no, here's my medication. I got anxiety. I can't be in public. The mental health plan comes into it. This is where the power is. So then you got your mental health thing. You go to psychologists. They'll write you that you're mentally ill. So you come under some type of mental health act. Do you understand what I'm saying? That gets you out of doing a lot of the meetings and such things that they want you to do, because you don't want to do them because you want to avoid all the hoops you've got to jump through. So this mental plan, this faking anxiety gets rid of nearly every hoop. Then you're going to go to the top of the list because you're a mental health patient and you're homeless. So you're going to go directly to the top of the list of housing.
Okay, fine. You know, you whatever you get the mental health thing and you go on top of the list. Yeah, I understand. But how, how bad a person do you have to be to, do you have no self integrity, no ethics, no morals, so that you do all this? You're lying to the government. You're lying to your medical professionals. You're lying to your these agencies, these emergency housing agencies. What, just to save $400 year, and it's no, it's $400 a month, that 12 months, so that's 48,000 dollars a year. It's a good money, but get what I mean? It's not worth it at the end of the day. It's hold this country on it.
You pick your zone. I guarantee you'll have a housing commission house within 10 weeks of starting this process. Once you've got a housing commission house, you are now in the doors. All right, that housing commission house is yours for the rest of your life. If you're on Centrelink, you're paying $90 a week rent. If you're working, you're paying 20, 22, 25% of your wage. You're making $1,000 a week. You're paying $220 a week to live in Sydney City, to live in Maroubra in the eastern suburbs, to live mad places. Do you get me? Once you've got your foot in your door for housing commission, you can then, after living in that house for 6 months, you can go on these sites where you trade houses with people who are on that list. You must have a foot in the door. Once you've got your foot in the door, you can trade houses of equal bedrooms. So you could get a shit house in a shit suburb in the western suburbs, and you could just front up 5, 6 grand and ask someone in some mad area, listen, I'll give you 5, 6 grand, we do a trade. Next thing you got a housing commission house in.
But wasn't the point of getting this housing commission house to not pay money, Now you're trading houses. It's just renting a house in extra steps. All right.
Some fucking mad place in the North Shore, wherever you want to live. You're set for life. It's a bit of a process. It's a bit of a yarn. Yeah, it takes 8 weeks of hard effort. But what's 8 weeks of hard effort to secure yourself a house and potentially saving $400 a week for the rest of your life? That's a part-time job. Do the mathematics on that. That's the easiest way to get a house. It's one of the best moves you can do as a hoodlum. Hood logic. That's real hood logic. Don't listen to these cunts. Laters.
Okay, now since the video is open, now I'll tell you my what I think about this. First of all, I think this is morally unethical. And you just by telling us this, you just said that you're conspiring to uh, to defraud the government by using government things that aren't meant for you. And imagine your taxpayer money going to all these people who misuse it, and the actual people who need these houses do not get it because of people like you. Um, yeah, what about the real homeless people and those suffering mental illness who can't get their own place? Kind of taking something away from those who most need it. Yeah, no? Exactly. So what I'm saying. What about the people who actually need this? You're taking away something that belongs to them. This is funny. You're not going to get a decent by being in a house. So imagine bringing a decent chick home to a house. So man slash woman who's never contributed to any tax should do this. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So man who's never. No, this is not good. You can't do this. Okay, defrauding the government would have been mad when I was junkie. It's not good. Okay, it's fine. Uh, or just work hard and buy a own house, buy a house and save on rent. Real world logic, correct? Real world logic. Buy your own house. You should get the Australian of the Year award for this helpful information. That's probably sarcasm. So exactly, you should get Australian of the Year award. Well, that was my video today, and that's it. Bye bye.